What's up? So, it's been a while. I know I have been slacking on my videos the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I've been really busy. I've made a lot of modifications to the 40 breeder. Also, been working a lot, and we've been getting a lot of snow lately, so when there's snow, there's money to be made. Anyways, in this video, I am going to take you through all the upgrades I've made in the past few weeks, and I also need to do a water change, so maybe I'll take you guys along for that. But let's get right into it. One of the first additions that you are going to notice is the 3 new Frags. I bought these from Untitled Gardens during his live sale, I believe it was last week, and I got, let me see if I can get you a better shot here. This is the Ultra Leptoceras. And then we have the blue Pavona and the Midnight Princess Pavites. And then you can see I still have the acros in there. However, they're not looking good at all, so I think I'm going to take them out and just call it a loss. But, you know, it was worth a shot. Now, unfortunately, they're hiding right now, but the firefish also finished their 30-day quarantine and are now in the display tank as well. Now, in the sump, you can see I just made a couple upgrades with new equipment, I guess, or components. You can see in the first chamber there is now the Tunes Calmline Dock 9004 skimmer. That is running pretty well. I'm not disappointed with the purchase. I think it works really well. I'm just trying to still get it dialed in because I don't really like getting such a wet skim. I would rather it be really dark and thick. That's just my personal preference, and from what I could find online, it's quite difficult to get that kind of skim from this skimmer. But if and when I figure it out and everything's running smoothly, I will do a video on that, and I'll also do maybe a 3-month review. If you remember, or if you watched my last video, I had the dilemma with doing a water change and having my Kato that broke down and clogged up my sump. So I removed it, and I then purchased a nice big ball from a reefer on one of the forums, and this is, it came, like, it looks much different from the stuff I got before. The other stuff kind of looked and felt more like hair algae, where this is like thick, almost more like spaghetti. So I don't know if what I got before was already dead or dying, or if it was not Kato at all. Obviously I'm still new to this, so I'm still trying to figure some stuff out. But overall, this stuff seems to be much better, and it also stays together a lot better. Now, there are still some small pieces, which is why I added the mesh breeder box. That helps keep it all together and stops the small pieces from getting into the aqua mesh in between the 2 chambers and clogging everything up again. However, there's not much flow like there's not enough flow to really like rotate the Kato. So I've been doing it by hand every day. I just flip it or roll it or mix it up. Whatever I can do to just make sure that all sides are getting hit. Now, when I first put it in, I feel like it started growing and was almost filling out the breeder box. But over the past few days, I've noticed it's kind of almost looks like it's shrinking in size. So I'm not sure if I'm lacking in maybe iron or something that it needs to actually grow. I know my nitrates are still, somewhere between 5 and 10 parts per million. I haven't checked it yet today. I believe the other day it was at about 7.5. So there's plenty of nutrients for it to absorb. Also, since I've put that in, the algae in the main display has pretty much subsided. I do still have a little bit of what I believe is diatoms, but overall it looks a lot better than it did before, so I'm content with that. I had also added some phosphate E from Brightwell Aquatics before I got the Kato to try to bring down the phosphate levels, which again, that could also be what's affecting the Kato growth. I am not sure, but I would think I'm adding more phosphate now that I have the firefish in there and they are getting fed daily. So moving on, let me just rotate you over here. You can see that I switched salts and I decided to go with the Red Sea Blue Bucket. I believe it's just Red Sea salt, because I wanted the lower alkalinity level. That way I could kind of maintain it and dose as necessary and avoid having to do more frequent water changes to maintain the alkalinity and calcium levels. As you can see, I already kind of started the water change because I need to get it done. I have other things I gotta get done because we're expecting anywhere from 8 to 12 inches tonight. Well, some are saying 5 to 8, others are saying 8 to 12. So I shut the skimmer off, emptied the cup, unplugged the heater, which I failed to do last time, and unplugged the return pump as well as the ATO in the back. I left the power heads running, and there is also a heater in the display tank. Now what's left to do is to get the pump in, and I'm going to pump 5 gallons into this jug. This one's already mixed, so I'm basically just going to fill this to this level, then dump this right in, and we should be good to go. Now, obviously there are much better ways to do a water change. You're better off getting one of the siphon kits, and that way you can suck up any detritus or anything that's on the bottom of the sump, and also you can clean the sand in the display. Alright, so the 5-gallon water change is done. Like I said, I have another 5 gallons getting ready to go. I may wait till tomorrow to do that. Let this kind of settle in so I can get accurate readings, see where I'm at. But everything's back up and running. Now, another thing I added was this Jabao DP4 dosing pump. Now, obviously I don't need to dose right now. I've just been using it I had to bring my alkalinity up, so I got that squared away. And obviously I said earlier, I forgot to shut it off and actually brought my alk up a little too high, so now I'm trying to bring it back down. But hopefully I can get that stabled off pretty quick. Really don't want to lose the corals that I have. That would really suck. I'm already losing the acros, so. Now, another thing on the display tank I didn't show you is the glass lid. This is just, I think it's an Aqueon Versatop that you can get from Petco. Now, I heard a lot of bad things about glass lids, blah blah blah. But honestly, I can turn my lights up higher, that doesn't bother me, and I believe the other complaint was gas exchange, but with the sump, I don't seem to be having any issues. My pH is stable at 8.2, so I'm not going to switch at this point. I like it better because there's no risk of the firefish jumping out. Now, the last thing that I added, let me get some light in here, is this Watchdog alarm, water alarm. Basically, it has 2 sensors that can either remain attached to the bottom, or in my case, I don't know if I can get you a shot of it. I just put them down below the plumbing in the back where water is likely to pool if anything were to go wrong. So at least that's some kind of audible warning that there's a leak. Obviously, I rent and I don't need to flood the building. So you can pick that up at like a Lowe's or Home Depot. I got it from the place I work, which buys overstock from, I believe that came from Lowe's. Could have been Walmart, but I'm pretty sure it was Lowe's. So it's a nice little safety option, I guess you would call it, until I can afford to get like an actual aquarium controller, like a Neptune Apex or even a Reef keeper, something. But overall, I would say everything's actually doing pretty well. I need to clean the glass here now. It's all crusty and gross, but you know, if I can just get all my levels to balance out, then I'm just gonna add some more coral and watch it all grow. Thank you for watching. I will hopefully be putting out a lot more videos now. I know I kind of slacked for a little while, but hopefully I can get things turned around and we can start making some more videos more frequently. So yeah, hopefully I can stay on top of producing these videos. I did just win one of the mini complete tanks, the small, I think they're like 710 milliliter aquariums that have a sump in them and everything. So I think I'm going to do a couple of videos on that, probably the unboxing video, then a setup video, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I've seen people keep coral in it, so I'm curious if maybe that's possible. I mean, you figure it's only 3 inches deep and the light is about 10 watts, so it might be possible to keep some coral in there. So I'm going to have to do some research and see, maybe find some low light, low flow demand frags and toss them in there. Obviously, the stuff I seen was like green star polyp, zoanthids, stuff like that. I'd rather have like, I don't know, Leptoceras and the stuff I have in the main display. But we'll see. Who knows, if the light's strong enough, maybe I can just use it as a frag quarantine before I put new frags into the display. I guess we'll see. But stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to get notified when I post new videos. You have to hit the bell to get notified. That's YouTube's thing. But anyways, I will catch you on the next one. Keep reefing, guys.